Well, this news story came out a couple of days ago. It's just another example of a left-wing regressive agenda taking over our country, regardless of the fact that our culture and central government is supposed to be so-called conservative. And nobody seems to be bothered by this because there's no proper debate in the media, but even on a local level. It's a Labour London Council that decided to rename William Gladstone Park, to potentially rename it, Diane Abbott Park. Yeah, we are now glorifying Diane Abbott, Abbottism, and communism. It's quite interesting because if there are going to be decisions made to replace a park that was named after one of the most successful prime ministers that we had, pro-freedom prime minister William Gladstone, and then you're gonna have to rename it and choose Diane Abbott for some reason. The issue I have is that go through a proper local process. It's called democracy. It's called local democracy. They did. They think they did. Do you know what they did? Absolute chaos. They got school kids, primary school kids involved. And because that's going to help, definitely. They spent weeks and months and years brainwashing certain London state-controlled schools to tell them that socialism is good and the history of Britain is bad, and William Gladstone's dad, his father had slaves, and now we have to basically rename it because it's bad. We have to erase history, be ashamed of it, and then we're going to have to rename it Diane Abbott. What do you guys think? This is the focus group, essentially. And they also came up with other potential names. They have BAME Park. Yep, BAME. That I don't know why. Multi-faith Park. That was another option. And Diversity Fields. Oh, wow. If you actually give me a choice, leave a comment. Out of these three, if you had to pick one, which one do you pick? Because I definitely would not pick Diversity Fields. It's just weird. But the problem they have is Gladstone, as a liberal prime minister, liberal. It wasn't even like some sort of hard right conservative. His father had slaves and all was into the slave trade back in the day, the British Empire. And they forget about the fact that William Gladstone himself afterwards said about the history of the past, saying, well, yeah, slavery was one of the biggest mistakes that we made. So despite his family and his father and everything else, and just the system that we had, he did show, regret or understanding of learning from history. And he did that despite, without the need to bring down statues, without the need of changing the education curriculum in schools and all that. How can he get to that point? But right now, we can't trust our new generations and our kids to get to that point. You don't need to bring down statues. You don't need to change names of parks or roads to be able to learn from history. In fact, the only way you could actually learn from history is by visibly debating these issues. Also, I just have a problem that we're renaming it after Diane Abbott. Diane Abbott. There's so many options. Diversity Fields. Go. We're going to come back. We have a lot of news updates for you guys throughout this evening. So subscribe to the channel. I'm going to come back on my Tousi, and we are the media.